Krishna's Krishna's sight became personified, and that was Shiva. So what is the Shiva Tattva? Because we have Vishnu Tattva, we have Shakti Tattva, we have Jiva Tattva, and we have Nama Tattva, Dham Tattva. So what is Shiva Tattva? Now Shiva is not Vishnu Tattva, is not this thing. At the same time, he's not just a Deva. Because Devatas are, it's only a post. Like you have Surya Bhagavan, but then there are individuals. Each time there is a different this thing. When his term is over, then another Surya Bhagavan comes. So like right now we have Vivashwan as Surya Bhagavan. But Shiva is not a post. Shiva is expansion of the Lord himself. And why does he? So actually, it's an expansion of Krishna himself. Now, in the form of Vishnu. So Vishnu is one who creates this material world. But then he doesn't want to get involved in it. He doesn't want to be involved in all these material things, three modes and all the external energy doing all these things. So he expands himself. Vishnu expands himself as Shiva so that he can be, because someone has to be with her, right? With the external energy to take care of this whole creation. And that is Lord Shiva. So because he is not controlled by Maya, but at the same time, he is involved with her. So he is, because of that, there's a slight transformation. That way, even Purushavataras are considered to be a little bit on the material side because their job is material creation, whereas the avatars, the other expansions of the Lord, are only having spiritual leelas. But even among that, Vishnu doesn't actually get involved with all our, our leelas. It's only Shiva who gets, who gets involved in this material energy, and that is why he is called, separate category, Shiva Tattva. And the analogy given, even in the Brahma Samhita, is that how milk and yogurt, milk, when it transforms into yogurt, it's no longer milk. But milk and yogurt are also same in one sense. So in the same way, and just by putting a little bit of yogurt into the milk, it becomes yogurt. So in the same way, a little bit of involvement in this material world makes Shiva little transformed. But that doesn't mean that he is under the three modes or he's become impure. No, he is pure. But just his involvement makes him little vulnerable. And that's why he is not equal to the Vishnu Tattva. And so then tells Linga, and so how did he appear, Shiva? So he appeared from, in some of the things, Kalpas, it's mentioned he came from, the Bhagavatam also we see that he appeared from the forehead of Brahma. So Shiva, some people think that Mahashivratri must be the birthday of Shiva, but Shiva doesn't take birth. He is birthless. So he just appeared from the forehead of Brahma, and he was not a baby and someone took care of him. None of that. He just appeared as it is. Sometimes he also appears from the forehead of Vishnu. So now when he appeared from Brahmaji's forehead, now what happened? Brahmaji first of all created the four Kumaras, right? And he told them, see, my children, my duty is to populate this whole universe with lot of people and other living entities. So you four must get involved in that, get married and produce a lot of children. And the four Kumaras, they were shocked. They said, we don't want to get involved in all that. We want to be brahmacharis throughout our life and be involved in spiritual realization, spiritual life. We want to be only studying the Shastras and all those sort of things. And in fact, we are not going to change our form. will remain eternally boys, so I mean small children, so that nobody can pressurize us, and they will also not be attracted by anybody. So they wanted to keep that body. So Brahmaji, when he saw the very first children, and then they are saying, they are disobeying him and saying, no, we are not going to do that. So Brahmaji was so angry, because motive passion, no, he's in charge of. So little bit of that influence, but he checked himself. And so at that time, from his third eye came, no, sorry, not third eye. Brahmaji doesn't have third eye. From his forehead came Lord Shiva. And so he is, this Tamoguna, Rudra, uh, full of anger. That's why it was bluish in color, Tamoguna, and red, Tamu and Rajas, And Shiva appeared, and then Brahmaji said, my dear son, at least you populate this universe. So Shivji, okay, very happily he expanded himself with his first 11 Rudras. Now Shivji, in his Rudra form, he's got 5 heads and 10 arms and third eye and all that, Rudra. And he expanded himself into 11 Rudras, and he told the Rudras, go. He just sent them everywhere. And these Rudras, they started multiplying also, Shivji, because Brahmaji told very sincerely they were multiplying and they were creating havoc because they are in the Tamoguna and Rajoguna, anger, destruction. So they were destroying things, destroying forests and all other things, and also people killing. And Brahmaji got terrified. Oh, what have I done? He told Shiva, no, 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 no. All of you know, just sit and meditate. Okay. At the end of the universe, that time I'll call you, you can do your work. So that is why you see all the Rudras, they're meditating, and Shiva also always is in the meditating pose, right? He has Leelas and all. There's so many things, but whenever that's over, he is always meditating. Otherwise, because he is in charge of this destruction and all those things. So Brahmaji advised him. And so Shivaji was meditating, and this one, I mean, Durga Devi was very busy in those times for creation. She was helping Brahmaji. And so then what happened? At that time, the Prajapati was Daksha. And so Prajapati's role is a little higher than Devatas. He is, because he writes, I mean, he sets the, like, the rules and like that. What is Shastra, Dharma, like that. And so it's a very exalted post, but below Shiva anyway. And Daksha was very respectful to Shiva. And also he considered, because both of them came from Brahma. So, and then what happened? Brahmaji, because he had 5 heads in the beginning. Because actually, after creating, he was looking, actually, how did these 4 heads come? He was going in search of Saraswati, right? He created her, and then he started looking everywhere for her, and then above also. So he got 5 heads actually. Then somehow, due to Rajoguna, he was a little, little bit proud. Something he thought he is equal to Vishnu or some such thing. I forget what that this thing was. So Shiva was very angry with him, and to teach him, to curb him down, what he did, from a distance, he shot an arrow and chopped off his 5th head. So then he had only 4 heads. But Daksha could not stomach it. Because it was his father. And so he became angry with Shiva. And so he started criticizing him. And then he made a rule that in all the yajnas, because normally yajnas, everybody is called, right? Indra and all the devatas, everyone, they do avahan for them. And then they present whatever all this ghee and grains and all to them, their share. Everybody's invited and given their share. So Shiva is also called, Devatas and Vishnu, finally, everybody is called. So he said, no, Shiva should not be called. He made the rule. Now, the Devatas, they were afraid because Prajapati is they have to listen to him. He's like a king over them. And at the same time, Shiva is someone they really admire and respect. So they were in a kind of a, they couldn't say anything. They kept quiet. And Daksha, he managed all this because he was very confident. I'm Vishnu's great bhakta. So Vishnu will protect me. So he became proud and he was doing this. And he was offending Shiva like this. Actually, Vishnu did also, recommend, advise him, but he wouldn't listen. Something he would give some excuse and he was against Lord Shiva. Um, so now, but the thing is, actually, in the beginning, when he was in favor of Shiva, Brahmaji had advised him that you should do tapasya and get Durga Devi, his consort as your daughter, so that then Shiva can easily marry her. So he had done tapasya and he got Devi. That is why he got Shakti or as his daughter, Dakshayani or Sati. And Daksha had 60 daughters, right? And she was the last one and very, very dear to him. So Daksha got so many daughters because first, before these daughters, he had sons. First, some thousands, Aryasvas, Savalasvas, and all that. And they all, he sent them to do penance. And at that time, Narad Muni, he preached to them and made them all sannyasis. So Daksha was very, 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 very angry. And he thought, now this time I will not be tricked. Because even though he wanted, he wanted the progeny, but he wanted them to rule, after him. So he wanted them to be properly trained in austerities and all that. So he would anyway send them, and each time Narada Muni would think these are wonderful children. Why they have to waste their time in material life? And he would go and preach to them, and they all say, "Bye, father, we are all going for sannyas." So this time he thought, I'm going to get daughters. Nobody will, first of all, I don't have to send them for outside for austerities here only, and then they'll get married to sages and all that. They're protected. So the last daughter, Sati, was very dear to him, his favorite. And this was the great joke. The problem, of course, it was meant that she is Krishna, Shiva's consort, and Daksha knew it, and that's why he had got her. But then after that, he turned against Shiva so severely that when her sisters found out that she's in love with Shiva, because Shiva made his appearance once, and of course, naturally, Sati was attracted. And not only that, all the devatas and rishis, everyone, they were all encouraging Sati to marry Shiva. Why? Because there was this asura called Tarakasura, and he did penance to Shiva to so that he'll become immortal. But Shiva said, I cannot, nobody can be immortal and all that in this material world. So then he said, he thought, at that time Shiva was not married. Nobody even knew about Sati or anything. He was just sitting and meditating, and very, very big Vairagi he was. He wouldn't even open his mouth, eyes, and very detached from this world. And he was just wearing a deer skin and sitting there and meditating. So this Tarakasura said that, you give me a boon that only your son can kill me. So he thought, this is a smart thing because Shiva will never get a son. Nobody can kill me. So Shiva said, Tatastu. And so he started really harassing everyone, and especially the Devatas and everything. So that is why they wanted Shiva to get married very soon and to have a child also, so that they can quickly, he can kill Tarakasur. So now they were getting, many. So Sati was also attracted to Shiva. She also, but then her father, she was also very attached to her father. And the father, oh, he said very clearly that he will have none of it. First of all, he started criticizing Shiva. What is it? Look at him. How can a princess marry such a person? Huh? He's wearing deer skin, matted hair, and then one snake in the throat, and all these things. And not only that, who are his associates? Bhutas and Pretas. What kind of association you'll have over there? And not only that, he doesn't have a house or roof over his head. He's just living out in the sky is his roof. He's living like that. How can we give you in marriage to such a man? Forget him. So, and he threatened so many things. And so she thought, okay, you know, I, she tried to forget Shiva, but that is impossible. So then Daksha, he arranged Swayamvar for everyone to come, and so that Sati could choose. And somehow Daksha, he wanted to insult Shiva because everyone has to be invited now. So he made Shiva's form as made Shiva's form, and he put him in the this thing at the entrance. He is going to be the gatekeeper. So he thought that's a big insult to him. He kept him there. And then all the kings came and Sati came and everything. And she just walked past everybody and she went and put the garland on the Vigraha of Shiva. Daksha said, how you can choose a Vigraha and all that. But then as soon as she put Shiva came there, and then that's how she chose him. And meanwhile, the mother was also a little pacified. She thought Shiva is actually very nice, very great, very magnanimous person and all that. She also somehow this thing. So they got married. But Daksha was not very happy with it. And actually, okay, he was a little bit okay. They got married. Then there was one public performance, some yajna happening, where Daksha was there and Shiva and Shiva and Sati also came there. Now Daksha thought that before this, what happened? Another reason why he turned against Shiva, not only because he had killed his he had taken off the this thing, head of Brahma, but also on one occasion, there was a yajna performance happening, and Shivji had gone there and he was sitting and meditating. And all the other devatas, rishis, everyone were assembled there. And at that time, Daksha Prajapati walked in, So when he walked in, everybody rose to greet him because his influence was very great. But Shiva was deep in meditation. He didn't realize even that Daksha had come. And even if he had come, Daksha is junior to him. He doesn't have to stand up. But according to Daksha, he was equal to Shiva or even better, I don't know, whatever. He thought that Shiva had insulted him. And he got so angry, he walked out of that place. And so that is another reason that he hated Shiva, because he thought that he insulted him. And now he thought that, okay, now Shiva has become my son-in-law. So father-in-law is superior position. No. He thought, now in this yajna, at least let me see if Shiva, he will come and pay obeisances to me and be very humble to me. But Shiva didn't do like that. When they went, Sati only paid obeisances. She was standing like that because Shiva is above him. He's an expansion of Vishnu. Hari Hara, no difference. And what is Prajapati? He's just a Jiva. So Shiva, you can do it also like Krishna. He paid obeisances to all the. It's not that you shouldn't, but maybe Shiva didn't do it because of Daksha's pride. So he didn't pay obeisances, that did it. Then after the yajna, he thought, I will teach the Shiva a big lesson. And then he did a big, huge yajna in his palace. He invited everybody in this universe, all the devatas, every who's who, all the great personalities were invited, except for Shiva and Sati. So now they didn't even know, Sati didn't even know that his father was doing this yajna and all, because no invitation. But she saw lots of people going past Kailas, because Prajapati Daksha probably was in the Manu's, I don't know where he lived, probably in the earthly planetary system in Jambudvipa somewhere. So they were all passing by Kailas, and they are all dressed up very nicely and flying, in their airplanes, all husbands and wives together, enjoying. They were going, and all the sisters also. They were all married to different sages. They were all going past and say, "Hey, where are you going? What is happening?" They said, "No, you don't. Daksha is having. I mean, her father or whoever told her, he's having a big yajna, and everybody is invited for that." And she was shocked. But she was still attached to her father. And so she told Shiva, "If a daughter can always go to her father's house, so what? If she's not invited, let's go, let's go." Shiva said, "You know what will happen. He just hates me so much. Then he will finish off, and you will be very sorry. If we go there and he insults us, then it'll be very bad for you. So let's not go." But she was like, she didn't know her father was so bad. I mean, she couldn't understand his hatred so much. Thought, okay, he won't do anything much. So she was trying, first she was, because it was her husband's instruction. And on top of that, she didn't know. On the other hand, it was her attachment to her father. So she was walking up and down like a pendulum, swaying from this side, this thought to the other thought. One is her attachment to Lord Shiva, and the other attachment to her father. She was working to and fro and to and fro, thinking, what should I do? What should I do? And then finally, the mind got over her affection for her father. And she decided, I'm going. And she just started going. And then Shiva thought, oh my God, let me send at least, Nandi and all his, servants to go along with her. Please go there and take her properly. She's Shiva's wife. And okay, so then, so they take her. And when they reach that place, as she enters there with full eagerness, because after marriage, she was such a pet of her father. So much attached he was before. So she thought he'll be just by seeing me, that too I'm coming alone. So my father is going to shower his love for me. She was walking in like that, but Daksha saw her and completely ignored her. And he was just continuing with the yajna. But the mother and the sisters, they all came and they tried to be nice to her. But that was not enough for her. She felt happy, but then father, she had a special relationship with the father. And so she went there, and she saw that all other devatas' names were being recited, Vishnu, everybody, but the Shiva's name was not recited, and she got so upset, and she thought, that I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go away. I wish she had gone off at that time. But as she was going, Daksha, wanted to put salt on the insult. And he said, what do you think? I mean, what is that Lord Shiva? Huh? Look at the way he dresses and look at his lifestyle. And like that, he really insulted him like anything. And that, she could not tolerate. Oh, Sati. She could not tolerate it. And so she thought, see, this body, I'm connected to you only because of this body. You gave birth to me. Now I don't want this body only. I'm going to immolate myself. So she went into yoga, meditation, deep meditation, and the Agni came out from her and completely burnt her body. Not completely, some, like, charred. She died. She just laid on the floor. And so that time, Nandi and all these, servants, they went and told Shiva, all this is happening. And Shiva got very, very, very disturbed. he came first. He sent his people, Bhairava and all these who are invincible. Nobody can. They are his expansions only. His servant send them, and they went there, and they were so angry at what had happened. They went and chopped off Daksha's head, and not only that, they put stool and urine and all that in the yajna, so that they could not perform that yajna at all. And then they chopped off Daksha's head, and Daksha was just lying there, and his wife also was crying. Her name is, what's her name? Akuti Prasuti, one of her. So she was crying a lot.
Veerabhadra, that was Veerabhadra.
Veerabhadra. Okay. Veerabhadra came there, and he chopped off the thing. And then when all this was happened, then what happened? Shiva comes. He's very, very upset, seeing Sati's form. He's very upset. But before, he could go there, even the Devatas and all of them told his wife, go. Shiva is very, very kind. Ashutosh. You just cry before him, and he will fulfill your desire. So she went and fell at his feet and said, please, you are the most kind, compassionate, merciful. She begged him. And then, so please revive my husband. How can I live without him? And all that. So Shiva, imagine, he was okay about it. Imagine the father had murdered his own daughter. And okay, he didn't murder her, but he did everything for her he was complicit in that suicide, no? So, but still, he said, okay. And because his head, Veerabhadra had made sure that no revival will happen. So it put his head into the fire. So he couldn't put the head back. He could have revived him, this thing form, but because the face was disfigured, so then he took a goat. There was a goat, and he chopped the goat's head and put it on top of Daksha's head, and he revived him. So then Daksha got his lesson for all his offenses. He couldn't recognize. Imagine, Vishnu also had come for the yajna in the beginning, and he told him, don't do like this. You invite, don't insult him and all, but he wouldn't listen. And he was very sure that Vishnu will always support me. So he did like this. And because of that offense, imagine, he lost his head and he got a goat's head. That was a fit punishment for him. And he just fell at the feet of Lord Shiva. And after that, of course, he was really very, very repentant. And he was doing a lot of tapasya and all that. And later on, he took birth again as Daksha with normal head and all that. But anyway, that apart now, um, yeah, so, so now Sati goes back. Sorry, before this, actually, they didn't have, even though they wanted to have a child and all that, but it didn't happen because Shiva was always so busy. The Devatas were also having tough times and for their war and everything. So Sati didn't have a child also, and she was dead now. And Shiva took her body, and his grief was just unlimited. And he was just walking around all over the universe, so much attached to her form and crying and so much pain and distress. He was just walking around and around. Imagine, without Shiva, how the universe will function. This went on for some time, and then Vishnu, what he did was, he came and he sent one Sudarshana Chakra. He wanted to take Shiva out of his, this attachment to what's the point of being attached to the body? She is no more. So he took the chakra and sent, and the chakra chopped off her body into 51 or 52 pieces. And each of that piece fell in different parts of the earth. And that became a Shakti Stal, because that piece was also living. It is not that it became, it's just dead matter, because Sati, she is, like a, I mean, she is eternal. Her form is not um, material. And so, like that, and then Shiva discovered all those places, and he made sure those Shakti stalls were established and all that. And then he went into deep meditation. He just completely withdrew. He just lost interest in everything. And he just wanted to sit and meditate. He didn't even want this one with him. What is his name? Nandi. It was so much, filled with sorrow. And so that's very natural. It's not Maya or something. This is Leela. So Shiva went into deep meditation, and Nandi, he thought, okay, now I will just freeze myself. And he was sitting next to him, protecting him. He can never live without Shiva, right? Nandi is such a obedient, such a selfless servant of Shiva. I mean, just like Hanuman is for Lord Ram, Nandi is to Shiva. Shiva rides on the Nandi for everything. Nandi only. Nandi will do all the time, all sevas, all the time, is eternal servant. And then so now what happened? Sati, of course, Sati and Shiva and Shakti are inseparable. So she reincarnates, and this time she chose the father to be somebody who's not inimical to Shiva. So that Daksha was terrible. She had such a hard time, first of all, to get married to Shiva, and then after that, married life also was hellish. All the time, this ego issue of his father always insulting Shiva, and all that must have caused her so much pain that she had to kill herself. Imagine. And so now this time she thought, and so she chose Himavan, who was, he's also a Vishnu Bhakta, but he's also favorable to Shiva. He's not against or something. And from the time of her childhood only, she was thinking of Shiva. She wanted to attain him. And so she was doing always meditation and all that, doing austerities to attain him. And all in that, all the devatas, Narad Muni, and all of them were helping. They also, everybody wanted that quickly Parvati should marry Shiva, because the whole world was being harassed by the Tarakasura. And now here we also see the role of Ganga. Ganga is a sister. Ganga is also a daughter of um, Himavan, and his wife is Meru. Huh? No. What is her name? Anyone remembers? Meru something. Meru Devi. So Ganga was also one of the sisters of Parvati. Parvati was the youngest here also. And Ganga, what happened? Once when they were going on some pilgrimage, that time on, she met Shiva, and she was somehow attracted by Shiva, Ganga also. So then she approached, she told her parents, I want to marry him. So then they went and told Shiva, and Shiva said, no, I have no one other than Sati was my wife, and that's it, nobody else. Because now Sati is dead. So they thought, okay, Parvati was not yet born. So that time they thought, okay, Ganga can marry him, but he said, no, I won't marry anybody, only Sati. That's it. And so she was very disturbed, Ganga. So she went to the heavenly planets, and she was there doing tapasya and like that. So later, of course, anyway, that happens later. So now Parvati is doing tapasya to attain Shiva, and Shiva is in deep meditation in the Amarnath caves, where in Kashmir, right? That is where both Shiva and Parvati have done meditation. Very special cave. So he was doing meditation there, And Parvati, used to go there in the pretext of giving food to him, because I think Himavan was supplying him that or something. She used to go there, but Shiva was not at all disturbed by her or her presence, or he won't even open his eyes. So then what happened? The Devatas were all so disturbed. Now what to do? Quickly, we have to get them married. So they said, Kamadev, Indra called Kamadev, you go there. And when Parvati is going there inside the cave, then you strike the arrow, Cupid's arrow onto Shiva. And then, Shiva will again fall in love with Parvati. Then Kamadev said, oh, I am very afraid of Shiva. I cannot, his third eye opens, I'm finished. I will not go there. They said, no, you have to do. See, this is for universal affairs. It's for the benefit of all everybody, that Shiva and Parvati have to get married soon. So like this, and Indra is the king, he has to listen. So very, very fearfully he went, he stood next to Parvati, and as Parvati was entering, he shot the arrow. And Shiva, he knew in his meditation only, he was getting disturbed. What is this? Because how does Cupid create all this, loving feelings, mood, by making, very nice breezes going, very fragrant, flowers, this thing coming there, fragrances, and, in this way, the senses, attracting the senses first, with different impressions. So he was trying to disturb Shiva's meditation, and he knew that. So when this continued, he opened his eyes when he thought, this is the last straw. He's putting an arrow on me, and he just looked angrily upon Kamadev. Finished. Kamadev just burnt to ashes right there, and just behind somewhere was his wife Rati, who was waiting, and she was like, she was so disturbed. What is this? I've lost my husband. And so then, who is it who said, no? So then after that, what happens? So Parvati goes there, and somehow, then she does tapasya. She starts doing severe tapasya without any food, without any water, just sitting there. Her mother used to keep, sending her food, nothing. She will not touch anything. She would just keep on meditating because she wanted to attain Shiva. Then finally, Shiva became pleased with her tapasya, and he agreed to marry her. Now, even though, the parents wanted to support Parvati and all that, but then when they came to know, finally it was, mother was, she was not ready. Whereas father also was disturbed in the beginning. What is this? Shiva, he's sitting, he doesn't even have a house, no possessions, nothing, dressed up like this, deer skin, and all is, all her, he doesn't even have a family or anything, no parents, no nothing, nobody. He's all by himself alone. And who are his associates? Bhutas, pretas, and not only and his dress is also like that. How will my daughter, she's a princess again, she's a princess, and then the parents are really worrying. But for Himavan, Vishnu, because he's also a Vishnu bhakta, Vishnu comes in his dream and tells him, no, she is meant for him only, you better agree and all that. But the mother, mother was still thinking, how will I send her like this and all that. But somehow finally they agreed, because it is Parvati's desire. So they said, okay, we'll make arrangements. And what happened? So Shiva was also getting ready over there, and from Kailas, Bharat has to come. And so at that time, what happened? The who was for the Bharat to organize things, something they have to do, no, some rituals over there. So for that, Atri Muni's wife, Anusuya, she went there. and she took with her son Durvasa Muni. So when Durvasa Muni came there, everybody got frightened. Oh, yo, Durvasa Muni comes means something will happen. So Narad Muni tried to tell him, come, we'll go somewhere else and all. But he said, no, let me go. Mother also tried to take him. She told him, see, Durvasa, you're not going to get angry. Okay, this time, everywhere you go, you get angry. He said, no, I will not get angry. I'll be very peaceful. But he managed to go up to Kailas, and Shiva was there. And, it was the time of a celebration. And then there was all these bhutas, pretas, and all. And because they are in Tamoguna, sometimes they drink and all that, right? So Shiva also to give company sometimes drinks, or they, uh, I don't know whether he takes chillam and all, but they say that he does that bung and all that. I don't know, maybe he does because once in a way, maybe for celebrations. So they were all drunk, these bhutas, pretas, and all, they were dancing. And when Durvas Muni comes there, wrong time, he arrived there, and they also, they held him also, come, dance. Imagine Durvasa Muni is very, very, rigid brahmachari, sannyasi, and not not sannyasi, yogi. And so he got very, very angry, and he curses that, you know what? Seeing this Vesha of Shiva, the mother and all of them will get, they won't even agree for the marriage. He'll curse and go away. Now what to do? Anyway, the Bharat has to leave. So they go. They reach up to, so many people joined. Everyone from the universe were all so happy to be part of Shiva's marriage. Big Bharat, going all the way from Kailas to Himalayas. Huh? Okay, I don't know which Kailas it was. From that Kailas, in Shivaloka, or in the heavenly planets, there is a Kailas. So from there, they were coming to here, Himalayas, or maybe in Himalayas itself, that Kailas to Himavan's kingdom. So they were all coming in that Bharat. And when they reached, then this Parvati's mother was imagining, oh, Shiva will come like a very nice, dressed up groom. And she was thinking, my son in law, I don't know how, because Shiva is very handsome, but then his other attire and all that is a little, not for a son in law. So he came there, and she was waiting to do, Arati and all that. And as she went near, she saw snake and all that on his neck. She got terrified. Oh, yo, snake on top of that on his neck. And she fainted over there. And so, she was taken in and then stalled everything. Shiva will go in. And we don't know if the marriage is going to happen because mother is in this state. She's shocked. Oh, and Sati this time, she wanted a full blessings and approval of both her parents before getting married. Last time what happened, she didn't want to repeat that, and these parents were very reasonable and loving and all that. They were not against Shiva, but the mother was only thinking, how a princess will adjust to this kind of life, somewhere just in the mountains and no facility at all. What will she do? So and on top of that, at least as a groom, he could have come dressed up, and like this, he's coming as a groom. She was shocked. So then what happened? Shiva, he was always himself. He didn't want to change and all that. So then people had to go, and who would convince him? Everybody else was scared. Who can, who'll have the guts to go and tell Shiva, okay, you dress up as a groom and all that. So then only Vishnu. Vishnu is the sister of Durga. We came as the brother. Brother is very important in the wedding. And so he went to Shiva and said, why don't you dress up? I will dress you up. You should dress up for your wedding. And Vishnu personally, imagine, he got all the dresses and made Shiva, he dressed him up, and he looked so handsome and smart. And in that form, he's called Chandrasekhara. So because so he comes and then they get married and all that. But before, towards the no, before the actually this thing happens, what you call yajna happens, the mother, she of course she agrees because she sees Shiva in this very beautiful form and all. She's very, very happy. But after that, she thinks, this is not fair on my part to, bulldoze him into changing his form. He probably is not happy like this. He wants to be in his original form, wearing deer. That is the Shiva means that. If he wears something else, he's not Shiva, right? So she felt very guilty and she apologized to him. I'm so sorry. You please come back to your normal. That is your original form. You be in that form only. The, Parvati was happy with that. But so, she felt very guilty. And so they'll have the marriage and everything. Then, of course, she'll go to Kailas. And now starts the Devatas are waiting to get them married fast. Okay. So, um, where was that? Huh. They want a quick, child who will be the general for their army. They are only thinking of themselves, in all this thing. Indra it's all selfish to get them married and quickly get them a child. They should have a child and all, so that he'll get back his kingdom. That was his main thing, all the devatas. So now they have to make sure that they get married soon. And what happened? Um, okay, so anyway, so Shiva and Parvati enter a cave, okay, to plan for, to get a child. Now, once they enter the cave, it will go on for a long time and no news. So then they all go to Vishnu, and Vishnu also comes there. And then what happens? This is all Leela. This is not like, our mundane stuff. This is all very amazing. Shiva's whole life is very, very amazing. All these wonderful pastimes. And so then Vishnu calls out to Shiva and actually Parvati, and they are in this divine embrace, But because Vishnu called out, Shiva comes. And what happens at that time? He has not yet, the sperm has not been discharged. All this is mentioned in the Shiva Puran. So this, it's not because he was withholding, because Parvati did not want to let go of him. She wanted to be with him. And so now when Vishnu called him, he came out, and then the sperm fell down, and that became a big egg, okay, one fiery ball. And what happened? So nobody could, and it started, it started bouncing on the this thing floor and just falling off, rolling off. So they all told Agni, you hold it because it's fireball. You better hold it. And Agni Dev lifted it. He could also not hold. And he went and put it in Ganga. And Ganga, she, I don't know where the child was born. Anyway, so Ganga also held that baby and all that. And then she also couldn't handle it, I think. Or maybe she just held that egg or whatever this thing and then let it off her hand, and it went and fell on a flower bed. And there, six ladies called Kritikas, they were there. And they saw, and then from that egg, Kartikeya appeared. Now, when that baby was there, these ladies were there, and they saw this beautiful baby and they felt motherly instinct, and they all started taking the child. Each one wanted to, take care of him. So They were all fussing over him, trying to nurse him, look after him, and all that. So he developed 6 heads. And that's how Kartika is called Armugam or 6-headed. And then after the birth, then what happened? Then Parvati, she, poor thing, her child is born and nobody even, she is right there, and then somebody else is taking care of the child here. So she was telling, I want the child. So then what happened? They come there to the Kritikas, and they wouldn't let go of this baby. They said, we only found him, we are only taking care, we'll only keep it. And they begged Shiva. Now, Shiva, anybody asked him anything, he said, okay, keep this thing, and okay, you take care, because they only, I mean, otherwise the child would have rolled off somewhere, and they only found the child and was nursing. So that is how, okay, we will continue tomorrow, but this is how, I mean, there is so much in Shiva's uh, Purana. I mean, amazing. I wish somebody would write, in ISKCON, a book on Shiva's pastimes from the Shiva Puran. They can easily condense and write. Very, very interesting. And such a wonderful personality, Shiva and Shakti together, they're non-different. I mean, such a close connection between Shiva and Vishnu, Harihara, are non-different. It's and so much love between Shiva. The greatest thing is, this we must talk about today, because it's the height of his love for Vishnu, that he wanted to go and take part in the rasa dance. So once when Krishna was playing the flute, he also heard it, Shiva, and he thought, okay, I'll also go and dance with Shiva, with Krishna. So he came to the Rasa Mandala, and Purnamasi stopped him. What? You're a male, you cannot go there. You have to go and bathe in the Yamuna and take a feminine body of a gopi, then only you're allowed. So Shiva went there straight away. Imagine, he didn't even think, oh, I'm a male and how I can become female, nothing. He wanted to be with Krishna. He just bathed and he came and he became a gopi, and he was dancing with Krishna. And then all the gopis suddenly, they realized, who is this new gopi here? We never saw her before. And she is much taller and all that. Who's this gopi? Wait. Then they stopped the dance and they asked her, who are you? How did you get in here? And all that they started. Then Krishna laughed and he said, you, this is only Shiva. And, he wanted to dance with me. And then he fulfilled his desire that you can be the gatekeeper of the Rasa dance. So that is how he is a Gopeshwar Mahadev in Vrindavan. And then he is all the dhams, he is guarding, the entrance so that unqualified people will not enter. Chakleshwar Mahadev, then what are the so many Mahadevs. So in this way, he is so dear to Krishna. And amazing the love that he shows. He is full of love. Shiva is full of love. First of all, he's got a gopi bhav also for towards Krishna, and he shows extreme love to his wife also. That is why all girls normally, if they want a good husband, they worship Shiva. We want a husband like Shiva because he's so concerned, so caring, so patient, and equal status, like he expanded himself, Ardhanarishwara. He said, you and me are non-different. Half Shiva, half Parvati. So like that. And he always puts her on his lap, and of course, seated next to him also, and also on his lap always. And even when he's giving Bhagavatam class, Parvati is there on his lap, so dear to him. And not only that, and she's always asking so many questions. Why this, why that, why this, why that? And Shiva very patiently explains so nicely, vividly to her. Which husband does all this? Very few. That's why Shiva is considered to be the best of husbands. And he's not only Vaishnavanam Yatta Shambhu, Patiyanam Yata Shambhu. The best husband is Lord Shiva, not even Vishnu. Shiva. Shiva is considered to be the best husband. And that's why all girls pray to Shiva that may I get a husband like you. So in that way also is so loving even to his children. We'll see. Maybe I don't know if you're interested. Tomorrow I'll continue about Lord Shiva because it's so interesting and so wonderful and such a wonderful personality. You'll fall in love with him. I mean, just like Krishna. I mean, we know he is devotee of Krishna. That's why he's so glorious. But also is such a wonderful devotee, such a amazing God also. And so uh, if you're okay, then tomorrow we can finish it off, continue and see his, all the other parivar of his. He had 3 children, Kartikeya, Ashoka Sundari, and Ganesha. And that's a little bit of that. And then a few, 1 or 2 pastimes. And then we'll continue with Bhagavatam. And today we hope, we pray to Lord Shiva that may he give us bhakti, Vaishnav, such a lover of Krishna, always meditating on him, and dancing in ecstasy. When Narada gave the tiny Mahaprasadam from Narayana, then he became mad with ecstasy and jumping. He was dancing with so much thing. And he's so humble, very, very, very humble. Because even when all his own devotees are worshipping him, and sometimes Vishnu and Shiva will, because they are supporting opposite people, Shiva gives shelter to all the most fallen people. He gives shelter to devotees also, to yogis, and also he gives shelter to the most fallen, like even the ghost, bhutas, preta type of people, or even asuras. Because Krishna is so kind, he wants to give everyone a chance to advance. So they are not in a position to come to Vishnu. So he sends, okay, Shiva, you take care, Tamoguna people. So, he is so compassionate. And so, because he is supporting the asuras, he's also giving shelter to them. Sometimes those asuras, because he has promised them, okay, I'll always support you. He and Vishnu will be on opposite sides because asuras will attack Krishna, and then Shiva and Vishnu have even fought. And Vishnu will send his Narayana Jwara arrow, and Shiva will send the Shiva Jwara arrow, and like this. Of course, Shiva only finally, when Narayan Jwara arrow starts chasing Shiva, then Shiva, he keeps running, and he runs to all those places where his devotees are there. So they see that, my Swami is Vishnu. I am not the supreme. You all think I am the supreme? Vishnu is the supreme. So such a great personality, so surrendered to Krishna. And even, I mean, he is in charge of this Parvati, right? Of this creation, but he keeps all the most beautiful, fragrant flowers for worship of Vishnu. And for himself, what he keeps, one shoe flower, or what are others, Bel Patra, like this, very insignificant things. That is how much he loves Krishna and how much he, is such a servant, humble he is. Take it. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here for today. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisance. Mataji, that
Yes.
Shiva has started creating after Brahma's instruction. All these ghostly forms have appeared from his body only, like how he has come from Brahma's body, because without feminine form there at that time.
No, ghostly beings are those who are fallen very badly. All the people who are very, very sinful, they don't get a body. They have to go around like pretas who are too attached to their bodies. Those sort of people who committed suicide. Those are the people who are bhutas and pretas. They're not created like that. They've really uh, very sinful entities.
Yes, Mata. Then Shiva has, when Brahma told you go and create the procreation, that Shiva has started creating these forms. No, how do we understand
Those
that?
were Rudras. He didn't
Rudras,
create Bhutas, Pretas. He created Rudras.
11
He
Rudras.
added as Rudras.
The 11 Rudras have further created these demonic people, no, Mataji. Then Brahma told, stop it, you don't do like this. These are all becoming very burden.
Like themselves, yeah.
How they have come from the body of the Rudras, the 11 Rudras bodies, the other people have come.
Yeah, they must, the expansions of the Rudras, yes.
Okay. That is one thing. Second thing, Mataji, when Sati entered into the fire in Daksha's Yajna time because of the insults, then afterwards, how Shiva could carry the form of the Parvati and traveling, then Vishnu has to release the Sudarshana. Then how do we understand that?
No,
Because she's already burnt into ashes.
Half burnt.
Okay, half burnt. Okay,
yeah.
Mataji. Half burnt body. Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavata.
Dandavata.
Mataji, like Bhuvarloka means I saw in the universal chat, Mataji, yesterday, like all Rakshasas and ghosts will be there. Above Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka is there, right, Mataji?
Yeah.
In that there are Rakshasas and ghosts. So
Yakshas, Rakshasas are there.
Okay. And ghosts also it's mentioned, Mataji. I didn't understand that.
Ghosts also, yeah, maybe they're there. I don't know.
I understood because sometimes they go on to the Indraloka and then fight and all, right? So they stay in Bhuvarloka. Okay, okay, Mataji. Mataji, one more thing, Mataji. Like also you have mentioned, Mataji, like there is no difference between. We should not see difference between Shiva and Vishnu. Harihara, Veda should not be there. So how to understand that, Mataji?
No, Veda, Achintya Veda, Abeda. Veda is also there because like a milk and yogurt. At the same time, Shiva is an expansion, like a tree and a branch, right? A tree, the branch is not the tree, but it's not different from the tree.
Like Mataji, we all can also think about like that, right, Mataji?
Yes, everything in this world is like that, Veda. But except that, Shiva is very exalted, almost like Vishnu. We are not equal to Vishnu and all. In quality, we are same, but in quantity, we are not. But Shiva, he has got, 50 out of 64 qualities. Vishnu has got 60 and Shiva has got 55 or 58. 58 qualities, right? Shiva. So he is on a much more, that's what, he is an expansion of Vishnu only. But for the purpose, because Vishnu wanted to, he wanted a form which will take care of everyone. So in that sense, he's non-different from Vishnu. He is a Vishnu Tattva who has become this. So he's very, very exalted. There's no comparison.
Yes, Mataji. But generally, the Shaivites and all, they say that that is different, right, Mataji? They say that Shiva and Vishnu are equal. What you said.
They will say like that because
like
in the Puranas, in the Tamasic Puranas, no? Like Linga Purana, Skanda Purana, Shiva Purana, all these. Kurma, Matsya, these are all Tamoguna Puranas. Puranas for people in the Tamoguna. Purana is not Tamoguna. Purana is meant for those in Tamoguna. So there, they say that Shiva is the supreme, so that the Tamoguna people will feel satisfied and then they will worship him as the supreme. Though in between, it's also put that Vishnu is the supreme. But also, just to give weightage, that it's also the fact that we have 14 Manvantaras, isn't it, in one day of Brahma. And so in those 14 Manvantaras, one Manvantara is called Rudra Manvantara or Shiva Manvantara or Tamasa.
Savarni Manvantara.
Rudra Savarni.
Yeah.
So in that Manvantara, Shiva is the supreme. He of the whole universe. So Krishna also gives him a chance to be So you can understand his exalted status. That is why when you're preaching to Shiva devotees and all that, don't go and tell, oh, Shiva is only Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, don't worship him and all that. Don't say like that, because they've got, they get upset naturally, because Shiva is almost like that. So we have to tell them, chant Hare Krishna, because he himself said that. When Parvati asked Shiva, in which Purana it was mentioned, that she asked what will happen to the people of Kali Yuga. Maybe Padma Purana, normally that is what is quoted. What will happen to the people of Kali Yuga? Because I mean, they are so attached to material things and all that. So Shiva says, only by chanting Hare Krishna. He didn't say the mantra, but Krishna and Rama, by chanting their names only, they will be delivered. So, why did I say this? So, so Shiva himself is also, so we can tell them that, see, Shiva is also saying, and he came as Shankaracharya. He said that Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam Mudamate. So, because Shiva himself is saying that you chant Hare Krishna mantra, so you chant Hare Krishna mantra also. If you're attached to Shiva, okay, you worship, but you also chant Hare Krishna mantra, because he himself has said. Then by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, then slowly they will, they'll become attached to Krishna. So that is the way we have to, and it's happened. That's how so many Shiva devotees have become Krishna devotees. And then they, for some time, they worship Shiva also and Krishna also. They put Krishna on top and then Shiva below. Then after some time, they'll keep Shiva separately. Then after that, they don't feel the need. They are satisfied just by worshipping Krishna. They feel Shiva is also this thing. But Shiva, even they are some many devotees have got Shiva as a lingam, a small, like Salagram and all that they have. They do Abhishek and all that, because, he is like a Vaishnava, and he, Acharya or whatever, he can help you help us in our devotional services. So when you start seeing him in this form, that he is non-different from Krishna, there is no problem thinking that either is the supreme, or we think, oh, he's only a demigod. None of that. We are ready to accept him in his true position. Then there is no problem. That is when Guru Maharaj said, even if you go for some Shiva program and they give you real, I mean, properly made Shiva prasadam, you can have, because you have a proper understanding of Shiva. If you think he is only a devata, then you should not eat. So like that, I hope. Yeah, so they think like that. No need to disturb them, because in the Purana themselves, the Krishna himself has made those Puranas just for Shiva Bhaktas. So we don't have to say, no, Krishna is only supreme and all to the Shiva Bhaktas initially. We can say that, okay, fine. You just chant, because Shiva himself is recommending you should chant this also. So you chant. And then gradually the change will take place. Shiva will bring them, because his job is only that. He is taking the role of accepting worship and all. He's like a guru for everyone. Even the most fallen, bhutas, pretas, asuras, for everyone, is acting like a guru, so that by worshipping him, he's purifying them and taking them to Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Correct.
Mataji, this is Venkatapati Prabhu. Please accept humble
Yes.
obeisance. Okay. You mentioned that Shiva is an expansion of Vishnu. So, expansion, does it mean incarnation, or is there a difference between incarnation and expansion? Question number one. Question number two is, if Shiva is an expansion of Vishnu, then, and is categorized as not Jivatma, and is also not categorized Paramatma. So how do we understand when we talk about devotion to Shiva? If someone is being devoted to Shiva as an expansion of Vishnu, so Aradhana of Shiva is not wrong. Please make me understand, Mataji.
No, non-different means, see, in the sense that it is not, they don't have their eternal relationship with him. Eternal relationship is only with Krishna. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that I only make the faith of different people very strong to a particular devata, right? So when they worship that particular devata, they feel that he is in my heart and he is only guiding me, all that. So it is all through Krishna only. Did I answer?
Mataji, the first question I believe is I'm not yet gotten complete answer. What is the difference between incarnation and an expansion?
Not much. Expansion, incarnation is one who comes from there, from above to below. Avatara means descends. There are also expansions of Krishna only. Avatara means simply that they descend here.
So if that is the case, then if there is no difference between incarnation and expansion, then Shiva should be considered as Vishnu avatar only then.
Yes, but because he is closely interacting with material energy, that is why there is a slight transformation in him. So his potency is little covered. That is why Vishnu has got 60 gunas, 60 qualities, whereas Shiva has got only 58 because of interacting with material.
But I think I need to take separate time, Mataji, on this topic because I don't want to take a long time of yours. But I would like to have a little more clarity on this topic. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, today it's gone on and please pray for the good health of Beena Devi, who just underwent knee surgery. Okay, we'll pray. Yeah, so let us pray today. If somebody wanted to, actually, we can fast till noon. Maybe if you want to fast, because normally for all our this thing, no, for either appearance days of different lordships, even Nityananda Prabhu or Rama, we do till afternoon. And even for all acharyas till afternoon. And since Shiva, I mean, there's no birth of Shiva like that on a particular time and something. So if you want, we can fast till this thing. Some people wanted to do yesterday, and that was Dwadashi. So if you want, you can do today because, yeah. And yes.
When it comes to this fasting, this is generally, we consider him as Vaishnavanam, Yatha Shambhu, topmost Vaishnava and all. Here, what I'm saying is, when it comes to this fasting of till 12 o'clock, like we fast it on all the appearance day of acharyas and things like that. But why is it that, that the ISKCON is not mentioning, in their Vaishnava calendar that...
No, we don't have to. I'm not saying we have to. I'm only saying those devotees, they were saying, oh, we want to fast because we were used to fasting. Only for them, I'm saying, yeah, I said don't fast on Dwadashi. So today I'm saying you can fast.
Yeah, but that is also what I'm saying, Namataji, because when we need, see, we have to be inclusive of now at this point of time, at least, taking people together, everybody on that platform. And I'm saying, when we mention all the fastings of, acharyas and other incarnations, say fasting to 12 o'clock, but at least ISKCON, in our calendar, we don't, that the Shivapuran, Lord Shiva's appearance day, they don't mention that till 12 o'clock. It appears little that, for a people, because, when you go to office, somebody says, generally because it's a very famous festival and people say that, oh, today is Upavasam we are doing. And they look at us also, they say that, are you fasting today? And we don't generally do because it's not there in the calendar, it's not mentioned. So it doesn't look like that we are taking people together, there's no inclusive approach in us.
See, we have to do whatever. See, there are so many people we are not fasting for. Like, for example, in the Panchatattva itself, we're only fasting for Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, not even for Advaita Acharya, not for Gadadhar or Srivas. None of them we are doing, because there is no limit, na?
Yes,
How many
Mataji,
people are there?
I agree. Even the famous incarnations also, we don't do much or those things and all. Yes, it is weekend. What I'm trying to say is that yes, we don't do for many of those incarnations, like, but when it comes to, I'm just putting this, throwing this thing. When it comes to that, we need to take all the people together, because because in India, because Lord Shiva's this thing is considered as something almost on equal level with the Lord Vishnu, and many of them Shaivites are. There were wars in between, Shaivites and Vaishnavites because of this misunderstanding and things like that. Um, uh, you know, okay, I mean, on one platform, if you say, it may appear that yes, we have to teach the truth to the people. That is one way. I mean, that because he is not on the equal level of Lord Vishnu. Because here people are under the misunderstanding. They think that Lord Shiva is an almost are higher than Lord Vishnu also. People have got that this thing. So just to bring out that point, okay, maybe it may appear that we are not mentioning that, just to bring out the point that it is not mentioned in our calendars, this thing. But what I'm saying is that since it's a very important festival and people do this thing, um, keeping it on a calendar, yes, Vaishnavas, yes, we should have
No,
a clear
Prabhu, we can
understanding. Yeah.
glorify Shiva, na? We can glorify Shiva to them and say we worship him, we do kirtans, and we offer everything. All that we can tell. But do the Shaivites fast for Vishnu avatars? They don't. No. So
No, but
each one, whoever they're worshipping, they can do. But we can respect them. That much we
yes,
can do.
yes. I mean, there's no this thing. Of course, here we are not going in a. Yeah, but I think you have it's time up. Probably we can continue some other time this discussion.
No,
What I'm
tomorrow
trying
we'll
to say, we are
continue.
not. Yeah, tomorrow is Sunday. Anyway, I think Monday we will have.
Monday.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, Namataji, since we are not going on a countering mode to them. You people are not fasting on our this thing, and so we are not fasting on your this thing or that.
No,
It
no,
is
not like that. They won't
yeah.
even think like that. They think that Vaishnavas are okay. But you say that we really respect Shiva very much, and if you want, you can say, yeah, I'm also fasting. But how can you change what Prabhupada never asked us to fast? Now, how we
Yes.
can say, if you want individually, you can fast. There's nothing wrong. Suppose today you don't eat, that's not wrong, or you're not defying Prabhupada or anything. So if you
Yes.
can say, yeah, I'm also planning to fast, you tell them like that. But you cannot say ISKCON should make it a rule just to please them. No, whatever our acharyas have said, that only we will follow.
Yes.
But we'll glorify Shiva, na, then they will be very happy. Yes, yes, Shiva is wonderful. We really glorify him, and like that. We really, yeah, we study about him and we really pray to him. All that you can say.
Yes, Mother. I got it. Yes, Mother. Even I have not fasted at all. We want to stick to what Prabhupada has started. Absolutely no, that this thing. But you were just saying only, since and it's a question which comes, when we are fasting on Vaishnava Acharyas, this thing, 12 o'clock, and we don't do
We
it on
will
Lord.
not ask and like that. Shaivites know that Vaishnavas worship Vishnu. They are worshipping Shiva. So they will not expect that for also Shiva. They will not expect, except that they want us to respect Shiva. If we show that respect, they'll be very happy. Just like, Shaivites, normally they only go to Shiva places of worship. Now, this wonderful thing is this Ram Mandir. Everybody goes there. Mayavadis, Shiva Bhaktas, Buddhists, everybody is going to Ram Mandir. So it's becoming a common rallying point, So nobody expects, we don't expect Buddhists to give up all their Buddhism and follow exactly what we are doing. No, we're very happy that they respect Ram. That much is enough. Do we expect, Shaivites, you should also do Ram Puja like we are doing? No, they're respecting Ram. We are very happy. They're coming to Ram temple and glorifying Ram. We are very happy. That is the common point. No.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
They will be very happy. See, if we main thing is we respect and we show appreciation for whatever they are doing. Yeah, you people are wonderful. Whole day Shivratri, you don't eat. In the night also, they don't eat. Some of them, right? Only fruits or something. And whole night they're supposed to sing and listen to katha. I don't know how many are doing that. But you can say, this is wonderful. That is enough. They'll be very happy if you just appreciate them.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. So today we'll pray, we'll just pray for Guru Maharaj and everything else. So we pray for His Holiness Jeb Tak Swami for his complete recovery, good health, well-being, longevity and protection from all diseases. Also for his servants and for all Prabhupada disciples and for all our devotees and their relatives, and their families. And we pray for rain in Karnataka, and we pray for peace and harmony in this, in our country and also all over the world. And we pray for everything else as every day, whoever we pray for, we include them in our prayers. And one more, Damodar Prabhu mentioned that Bhima Devi, who just
Veena Devi.
underwent knee surgery. So we pray for her speedy recovery and normalcy. So let us chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Ram Rama,
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Vancha kalpatarubhascha.
Yasha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanam Vaishnavyo
Namo Namah.
Namaha
Anantapurti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Mahashivratri ki
Jai.
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 Shiva Parvati ki jai.
Jai.
Premanandi.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, yesterday, Chinmay birthday, Mataji, you were not there in the class yesterday. We missed your blessings, Mataji. Please shower your
Oh,
blessings.
Haribol. What is your name?
Chinmay, Mataji. Chinmay.
Chinmay. Did you all sing? Did the devotees sing for you?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yesterday they sang. Blessing. They
Okay.
give blessings, Mataji. Please give blessings.
Okay, Chinmay. Wish you all the best. May Krishna bless you. Guru and Gauranga bless you with all success and happiness and going back to Godhead in this life only.
That's what I
Okay.
want. Thank you so
May
much.
you become a nice devotee and do wonderful services. Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, she's doing nicely for Guru Maharaj's health, Mataji. That chanting, Dhanvantari chanting and all. She's
108 times, huh? You're chanting.
it's Mataji, one round.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
Mataji.
Very nice.
Yesterday she did 4 times. On Ekadasi day, sorry. Ekadasi day, she did 4 rounds of Dhanvantari mantra for Guru Maharaj.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. What did you say? Your name is?
Chinmay Mataji.
Chinmay. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
All the best. Haribol.
Mataji.